All league action set to go underway here on this Saturday afternoon. Playoffs just around the corner here. This matchup, week 13 action between the Portland Fleet and the London Knights. London Knights are undefeated in the season. Portland coming in at 5-5. Really no shot to win the division as Vancouver locked up the division last night. But Portland hoping to stay in playoff contention, trying to be one of the wildcard teams to get in. London again undefeated, top of the SFL. I am Stephen Hacker along with Brett Solberg tonight, and the stats truck Sean Benazzi, and we have Zach Holdorf back at SFL headquarters. Commissioner producer Cameron Irvine. Want to kick it over to Brett Solberg for his key points to this matchup. Brett?
Yeah, and this one's going to be just all focused on the running game for both of these two teams. We're looking at the number 1 and number 2 running backs of the league in Robert Merrill and Ezekiel Love. And Merrill is coming off a pretty pedestrian performance against Los Angeles last week, so he's looking to get some revenge and keep that lead in the rushing game right now for him. But also Ezekiel Love also looking to get himself off the funk as well. Both these guys barely got to 50 yards rushing total last week, but they both got wins. So it's going to be key on who's going to break out between these two running backs right now. It'll either be Merrill or Love. It can't be both.
Definitely see which team can get their star player going in this one. So we are going to get this action underway. London, the home team, wearing the all reds with the white helmets. Portland coming in with the all white unis and the silver helmets. Kicker JT Delaney has the ball on the tee for the Knights, hand in the air. And we are set to go here, week 13 action. And Portland going to return this one from about their own 2-yard line. Going to go right up the middle and stopped at the Portland 24-yard line. Why don't we introduce this Portland offense? Going to be quarterback number 7, Cyrus Jive. At the running back spot, number 21, Ezekiel Love. They have fullback Jacob Farmer. Wide receivers, Israel Adams, Benjamin Warner, John Valentine, and Nelson Lozano Jr. at tight end. Jive from his 24-yard line. Going to get the game going. Portland in a strong I formation. Handoff to Ezekiel Love. Breaks the tackle. Oh, big hit there by Anthony Wayo. Stopping Love for a 9-yard gain.
And that's what we're going to see out of Ezekiel Love, and especially this Portland offense. We're going to see a lot of stretch runs for Love heading to either side. That's what they really like to do, and that's how Ezekiel Love gets a lot of his yards, is through that stretch run and every now and again right up the middle.
Very, very elusive back. Somebody that's very tough to bring down in the open field. This time it's an I-form twins. They go away from the twins, and Love spins, breaks the tackle, and takes another shot. That time, number 92, Jeff Gagne, stops the ball carrier.
Yeah, and I think if this is going to be the way to Portland's success, then it might possibly work, because we know about London's passing defense. They have the second most interceptions in the league with over 30 interceptions, 33 to be exact. So if they can keep Love on the ground and he gets those yards, they're going to make the London pay.
Another first down carry for Ezekiel Love, and another first down for Love. Coming out hot in this ball game. 3 straight carries, 3 straight first downs for the Fleet offense.
And he basically 3 plays, and Portland has completely flipped the field, at least 35 to 40 yards on just 3 runs from Ezekiel Love. And right now Portland has kind of found that little weakness to start things off against London. So if they can continue this going through this way, Ezekiel Love is going to have a day.
On the offensive line for the Fleet, number 69 Randy Fatt III. And number 79, Jaden Taylor. Fatt the third, the left tackle. Jaden Taylor, the center. Quick drop for Jive. Gets that ball out of his hands and into his receiver, Israel Adams, who's going to pick up 8 yards on the reception.
Yeah, and it's just a short kind of slant run for Adams. Just get Cyrus Jive going a little bit here. He's, not the flashiest quarterback in terms of statistics. He's only, 14th in the league in touchdowns, was only 17. But his completion percentage, top 10 at 74.3.
Look, Love spins upfield, this time brought down at the line of scrimmage. Number 99 for the Knights, that's Telemac Scarborough, the outside linebacker in his 6th season.
Yeah, and then the one thing that that has given London this, 10-0 record through this season is how well they adapt throughout games to kind of change their defense and kind of stop what the opposing offense tries to do. And it's the first time they stopped Love here on this drive.
3rd and 2. Love is going to get another carry, has to move outside. Oh, play made in the backfield as looks like the defensive back gets into the backfield, stops Love for a -1 yard loss.
And a little bit of a mishap from the Portland offensive line. It looked like Love got stuck behind the right guard, Tim Jones, and he couldn't get himself back to the line of scrimmage before the swarm of London players. So they're going to have to settle for 3 here and get Joey Rabb here to kick.
Jack Russell, the 2-time All-Star, going to get credit with the tackle for loss. But for the Portland Fleet, they're going to bring out their kicker, and he's going to knock this one through from 41 yards. And Portland's going to get on the board here with their first possession. Joey Rabb, the 2nd-round pick out of Lexington, gets the Portland Fleet a lead early in this ballgame.
Yeah, and he still remains perfect. 19-19 now this season. Still a 100% marker for him. But Portland has to feel a little bit dejected after, having such a hot start to their drive, then all of a sudden get halted once they get close to the red zone.
7 plays, 52 yards on that drive, 3 minutes, 5 seconds off the clock. Only threw the ball 1 time. They ran the ball 5 times on that drive. And as you said, Brett stalled out. But Portland's going to take the lead and going to fight to play defense against this very, very high-powered London offense who's going to get the ball starting out on their own 27-yard line, Brett.
Yeah, and their main game right now has been the running game. They average well over 150 yards per game. They're at 165. They're by far way in ahead, the top running team in the league.
And you see Robert Merrill there gets the first carry of the game. Stretch play, right side, spins upfield. Plenty of room to run. Big open field tackle made by the linebacker to stop Merrill from getting anything extra on that. It's number 54, Brody Gulch. 2-time All-Star gets out there and makes a play.
And Portland is going to be successful defensively. They need to shut down Robert Merrill because he is the start and end to this London offense. Los Angeles did a fantastic job limiting Merrill's productivity last week with just 51 yards and a touchdown. And if it weren't for those 2 pick sixes that they had, Los Angeles had a legitimate chance in beating them last week. So defense has to stay strong for Portland.
Look, Merrill going to break it outside, stop just short of the first down marker. Good effort from the blocking up front for Merrill, and he took advantage of it, got 9 yards out of that one.
And right now, both of these teams utilizing the outside run. You saw that Zeke Love was, beasting and feasting, and now Robert Merrill's doing the same here, getting another outside run for 9.5.
2nd inches. It's like a 3-4 defense. Immediately got pressure in the backfield. Play made and a loss for Merrill. Play made by number 92, Robert Brower.
And Brower and that defensive line, they know how to stop people behind the line. They've got 3 players that started this game at 9 tackles for loss, including Brower, who got his 10th. We also have to look at Derwin Nuevo and Joe Boo McSlim on that line.
57 career tackles for loss now for Brower. 3rd and 3. Merrill's going to get the carry and a first down and a little bit extra. Merrill averaging 8.5 yards per carry in this ballgame.
Yeah, that's just reading the gaps. And you could see that the offensive line did a great job just pushing forward. You could see a couple of the offensive linemen get a little bit ahead of the play, which I did see Perrin Ibarra, which was about 5 yards ahead of the line of scrimmage to give that extra block for Merrill. So great job from the offensive line.
London past midfield, just about into scoring position. Johnny Pickler back to throw, finds an open receiver in the middle of the field. He's got Fox Highwind, a first down, and it's marked at the Portland 22.
And as much as they trust on that running game, you cannot forget about Johnny Pickler and his throwing abilities, because he's been a guy that is consistently a deadly accurate quarterback, always, within the top 5 in the league in completion percentage, and he's gotten his accuracies in check. Get this, 22 touchdowns and only 13 interceptions. That is a career low for him so far in his career.
We're going to be under center. going to be an outside run for Merrill. Spins upfield. Man, he's got
Speed.
room. Nobody there. He's going to get into the end zone. London responds and takes the lead.
And just take a look at this run again. Just nobody in the vicinity. Fantastic block by the reserve that we saw there. Clyde Jones, the second tight end in that set, with a fantastic block to help Robert Merrill find that outside gap. And just like that, Robert Merrill one-ups Ezekiel Love in this contest. First drive for London. They managed to score a touchdown, and they have the lead.
Very explosive 22-yard play there to the left side for Robert Merrill. Caps off a 6-play, 81-yard drive. Delaney on for the extra point attempt. Good snap, good hold, and extra point is good. Now 7-3 lead for the London Knights at home. And a great way to respond in this ballgame, Brett.
Yeah, and how about this for a response? Ezekiel Love had 44 yards on 5 attempts. Robert Merrill had 65 in 5 attempts, and he gets the score on that. So right now, it's advantage Merrill heading into this halfway point of the first quarter.
Delaney on to kick this one away back to the Fleet. Turner has it again at about his own 2-yard line. Going to take it right up the middle of the field and brought down at the Portland 26-yard line. Let's introduce this London defense, shall we, Brett? Number 59, the defensive end, is William Davidson. Also number 69, Selwyn Lane on the defensive end spot. Defensive tackle Cam Frosby. Linebackers are Jeff Gagne, Tony Roberto, and Telemac Scarborough. Corners, Tanner Hendricks, Brandon Ewing, and Emmanuel Blackman. Safeties, Anthony Wayo and Jack Russell, as well as kicker JT Delaney. Cyrus Jive in the shotgun, twins to the right side, X spot it looks like, and finds an open receiver before he runs out of bounds. Credit that one to Benjamin Warner.
Yeah, and if Portland's gonna start using that passing game a little bit more, they can't be afraid to start to throw it deep every now and again. The short passes will work, guaranteed. London is great at defending the deep pass, but kind of pepper it in every now and again. Don't make that a constant occurrence, because that London defense will get a pick if you manage to throw it deep enough times.
Stretch play for Love. Love able to shake off a defender and fights his way forward, able to pick up that first down. So Portland continuing to go with Love, showing Love all of the love here in this game early, and he's doing pretty well for them. They're in this ball game. They're right where they need to be. Brett scored on their first possession, and a team trying to stay in the playoff hunt. If you can come out with the win here against London, that's going to do wonders for your strength of victory. This first down play again, they feed Love, met in the backfield, but able to fight forward and pick up 2 yards.
Yeah, and this is such a crucial game for Portland as well. They're 5-5. They're the only team that is 5-5 in this league. And with that strength of victory being so low, they basically need to win out to get themselves a wild card spot, because clinching the Pacific isn't a possibility anymore. Vancouver won yesterday to clinch that division for the 4th time.
So huge when you're a team that's able to clinch your division, able to get into the playoffs and punch that ticket. And Jive able to find Israel Adams out on the right side, the 6'5", 225-pound receiver. Gets a couple of yards on that one, going to set up a 3rd and 3.
And that's what set up Cyrus Jive with being a top 10 quarterback in terms of completion percentage, is that they run these short patterns and they set up these 3rd downs that are short situations that they could easily get a conversion out of it.
And on this 3rd and 3, Jive's going to look to the flat ball. The fullback, Jacob Farmer, stumbles a little bit trying to haul in that reception, and he's going to lose a couple of yards, going to set up a 4th and 5. And, Brett, that's way too long for a field goal here, so Portland's going to have to punt this one away back to London.
Yeah, this would end up being a 57-yarder, and we haven't seen a field goal hit from that long. Or no, that's actually farther than that. That would have been about a 70-yarder at the end of the day, so there's definitely no chance for Joey Rabb to get that field goal on that. But again, another stall out for Portland and giving London the football back.
You need a really good breeze behind him to get that from that distance. Punt is away, returner able to get this one to the London 32-yard line. 19 there on London, the returner, and that is Vin Kalia, the 6'2", 201-pound receiver, 6 seasons in the SFL, 2-time All-Star.
Yeah, and this is his first week going with special teams duty here as a returner, and so far he's done okay.
Now Pickler back to throw, fires over the middle, and pass is going to be caught by Kalia. Moves the chains and gets the London marker at the 47.
Yeah, and one of the things that London always does as well is that when they start scoring, it feels like sometimes they can't stop. They can have, 3, 4, 5 consecutive drives with points out of this. And they started their first drive with a Robert Merrill touchdown. So if history is on London's side, they're going to score again on this drive too. So, be careful with all their weapons out there.
They're going to hand off to Merrill left side. Merrill drags 2 defenders forward and gets 7 yards on that first down carry.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't have to have that big 40-yard run from your running backs, and Robert Merrill can get the 6, 7 yards necessary to open up your playbooks for second down. You don't always have to have that big shiny play. Robert Merrill can be that that good option.
Pickler going to be in the shotgun, finds an open receiver out there on the right sideline. Fox Highwind has a first down. And London right back picking up right where they left off from their first drive and just moving down the field.
Yeah, and you talk about a wide receiver that is, the highest in terms of, wide receivers in fantasy points, and last week he didn't even get a touch. You have to think to yourself, he's looking for revenge this week. And so far, so good. 1 catch to get you a first down.
Pickler alone in the shotgun, base 4-3 defense, it looks like, for the Fleet. And Pickler quickly gets the ball out of his hands to his tight end, Benji Matson. Matson able to get a first down.
Yeah, and another guy that was really involved in the offense for London last week, 6 receptions for 73 and a touchdown. Benji Matson has kind of, woken up this season as well after, a pretty quiet, season so far, getting himself, a good production last week. He wants to continue that.
Flip row look for the Knights. Again, Matson over the middle and is open. And another first down for the Knights inside the SFL red zone. 1 minute to go here in this first quarter.
Yeah, and if Matson's open, he's a big body, and he can get any kind of throw to him. He's going to catch it, and just a perfectly placed ball from Pickler for Matson to run to the football and grab a catch. Another first down now in the red zone. London's threatening again.
Merrill going to be the lone back, split offset to the left. Pickler under center, 2 wide receivers to the right. Quick drop, fires to Merrill out of the flats, and met immediately, only a gain of 1. In coverage for the Fleet was cornerback Derek Majors in his 5th season in the SFL.
Yeah, and one of the good things that Portland does defensively is that they limit the passing game. They've only allowed teams to 255 yards of passing against, which is top 5 in the league. But with a running game like London, you kind of have to be careful with what they do on this play.
Probably the last play of the first quarter, power I for the Knights, and Merrill takes the carry left side and gets brought down at the 10-yard line, and that's where the zeros hit for the first quarter. London leading at home 7-3 against the Portland Fleet. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Twitch. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at www.simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. Merrill gets the tote to start the second quarter, and it looks like they're going to mark him just short of the first down marker. Nice tackle made there by the linebacker number 52, Mel Davis.
And what a first quarter for both of these quarterbacks, both Johnny Pickler and Cyrus Jive, both not having an incompletion in this first quarter. Pickler 6 for 6 and Cyrus Jive 4 for 4.
2 tight ends there on the right side of the formation for the Knights. Pickler using a hard count. Looks like they're trying to draw somebody off sides. Portland staying at home, being very disciplined. And Pickler will burn that timeout. Looks like they're going to elect to bring out JT Delaney here, Brett.
And it's a good job from Portland here because, London was really moving on this drive here, and they were getting plays, and they were getting their passing game going, which was more important. They went 5 for 5 on their pass attempts on this drive. But another good thing about Portland's defense, they don't let teams convert on third down. They're fourth in the league. They only allow 47% of third downs to be converted, and there's another example there of that Portland defense just being stout when they need to.
Delaney on to attempt what's going to be about a 24-yard field goal. Kick is up and good, 23 yards officially for JT Delaney. And that's going to be his 100th field goal attempt and his 96th field goal made all time in 6 seasons of work. So getting closer and closer to 100 field goals made in his career. But that one there gives London a 7-point lead here at home. 10-16 remaining in the half. Delaney gets this one off to the fleet. And returner going to bring it out from his own 2-yard line. Moves to the left, back to the middle, and brought down at the Portland 31-yard line. And that's where Cyrus Jive and this offense is going to take over.
Yeah, and this Portland offense definitely needs to reward the defense for stopping London and only allowing a field goal on that by getting a score themselves, whether it be a field goal of their own or a touchdown. And I think on this first play, you need to hit it hard with Ezekiel Love and get that drive established that way.
Love and Farmer in the backfield. 3 wide receivers out there for Portland. Jive with the quick drop, pressure coming, gets rid of it. Oh, and wow. A big hit delivered, but what a great catch over the middle from Benjamin Warner.
Yeah, and Warner's having a day so far with his second reception. Both Adams and Warner, being involved in, the very small passing game so far. Just, 5 pass attempts, and we've seen 4 of them go to their wide receivers. But, the passing game's been very quiet all throughout the season. You don't have a receiver that's near 700 yards total this season, but they can be effective when they need to, just like that Warner catch.
Now Jive with the 1st and 10, trips to the top of the screen, finds Warner again. Warner gets 6 yards, brought down in midfield.
And this is perfect territory for Portland here. They're just, pushing forward, every little bit they can, and maybe get this London defense a little bit tired moving forward. And the offensive line has done a good job to keep Jive protected so far in this game. He hasn't been touched to the ground yet.
Love going to get another carry. Good block on the outside. Love not able to spring it. Only going to get a couple on that one. Love, looking at the running back comparisons, both running backs having a heck of a ball game, but Merrill with the 20-yard edge right now.
Yeah, and you could basically, separate that by that 122-yard touchdown run essentially between, Love and Merrill right now. So if Ezekiel can respond in his own with a touchdown, they're going to be evens heading into the second quarter.
Jive now in the shotgun, 4 wide receiver spread, corner route. Ooh, trying to hook up with his receiver Israel Adams, but unable to do so. Defensive coverage came over late, and Portland's looks like they're gonna end up have to punt this one away.
And that's a dangerous throw because that's in the vicinity of Brandon Ewing, and you have to remember last week he had the 2 pick sixes against Los Angeles, so he's coming off a hot week. There might be, a couple of Portland fans saying possible pass interference, but that is just jostling for the football. It's a little bit overthrown.
I'm going to punt this one away. Kalia, with his second return of the ball game, gets it out to about the London 20. They're going to mark it down at the 19-yard line. London with now 8.5 minutes before we go into the tunnels for half. Pickler playing pretty well. Two possessions, 2 scores here in this ball game. Brett, and I think that we're going to see a heavy dose of Merrill again. But Pickler going to go under center here, first down from his own 19.
Yeah, both teams playing pretty clean football so far. No turnovers, no fumbles, none of that sort.
Merrill split, offset just a little bit to the right there of Pickler. He's going to get the tote up the middle, and 7 yards there on first down.
Yeah, and just like that, Merrill gets himself to 80 yards just on his 9th carry, and he's feeling super hot right now, and he can get himself, in that 200-yard territory if he keeps going throughout this game. So, I think Portland needs to shut him down sooner rather than later.
Second 3, Pickler back to throw, quickly gets it over to Merrill, room to run, and brought down at the 34-yard line.
A very, very easy swing pass for Merrill, and he didn't even need that entourage behind him of offensive linemen. He had just had too much space on that right side, so he was just going to easily run for that first down.
Get to know the Fleet defense a little bit better. Defensive ends Robert Brower and Derwin Nuevo. Defensive tackles Louis Negron and Jobu McSlim. Linebackers are Mel Davis and Khalil Thomas, as well as Brody Gulch. Corners are Chris Stock, Derek Majors, and Leo Morris. We'll get to the safeties after this play as Merrill gets met in the backfield, immediately dropped for a 1-yard loss. Number 95 on the play, Jobu McSlim, the rookie from Madison, first-round pick number 4 overall. Safeties for the Fleet are Bernard Smith, Joseph Lama, and Dale McLean. Now 2nd and 11 for London. Can't remember London being behind the sticks in a drive in this game so far, so first time I think for that, as Pickler now pump fakes, checks down to Merrill, makes a nice little grab, spins upfield, breaks the tackle, but going to get dragged down, but not before he's able to get 9 yards.
Yeah, it's a good change of direction as well from Robert Merrill, because it looked like after the catch he was going to go straight out of bounds, maybe only gain a yard out of that, but he turns his body just so well, and he gets himself downfield just a little bit more and gets the 9 yards to make it a 3rd and very manageable.
Tight ends on the field for the Knights. Pickler going to throw, quickly gets it over to Merrill, and that's working for him very, very well. Great positive yards every time they find Merrill on those swing passes, and Merrill's going to be out to midfield.
Yeah, not only just a good chunk of yards that they get, but look at the open space on, a lot of short down situations for London. They go with that swing pass, and there's nobody in the vicinity of the first down marker, let alone Merrill himself. So London surely should take advantage of that every possible way that they can on this and continue moving forward, get those first downs through the swing pass.
Merrill now with 4 receptions. To go along with 10 carries, 11 carries. Now Merrill shifts outside and has another first down for the night.
Outside the stretch runs, those have been key to a lot of successes, not only on just London's side, but the entire league as a whole. I can say for certain that Robert Redford, he takes advantage of those outside runs a lot throughout his career, and now with Robert Merrill taking advantage of that has been so key to his all of a sudden success on the ground, going from averaging 500 yards per season to now blasting open forward to over 1,600 yards.
How's this for the first 20 plays of the ball game? We're at Johnny Pickler 9 of 9, and Robert Merrill has 11 carries for 90 yards. I mean, that's almost textbook execution as Pickler finds another receiver, that's Terrence Weary, out there on the right sideline, and he's able to get 5.
Make that 10 of 10 for Pickler as he continues just to be super successful throwing the football, and he's averaging just close to a full first down per attempt as well. So it's not that these passes are short, they're effective as well.
Merrill going to get met at the line of scrimmage, maybe loses a yard as Chris Stock able to come up and meet the running back in the backfield.
Yeah, now Portland forces them in a 3rd and medium situation. This could be favorable for Portland because we talked about their success on 3rd downs and how they prevent teams on that. But an empty set, that could prove to be a deep play. So be careful of Kalia and Highwind on either side.
London 50% on 3rd downs up to this point. Throw is underneath, short of the marker, but the receiver able to fall forward, and London has converted another first down.
Yeah, good job from Amari Addison, the 5th wide receiver, on that setup, just to be that that last option, because you could see there was a couple slant routes that were deep down the field, and he was essentially check down option. He was left wide open, so that was a good decision made by Johnny Pickler.
3 receivers bunched to the top of the screen. Out route is there for Fox Highwind. First down and more. Brought out the left sideline, marked down at the Portland 14. London now in the SFL red zone. 4 minutes to play here in the second half. First half, I'm sorry.
Now they're in the territory where Portland before kind of stopped them and forced a field goal out of them. So London trotting down the field like their last drive, but their goal here probably to get to the end zone and not get themselves stifled again by Portland's red zone defense.
London going to come out in a pro I formation. 8 men in the box for the Fleet. Pickler with a quick drop, throws down the middle. Benji Madsen off his hands. Oh, you got to help your quarterback out. Hit him right in the hands over the middle of the field and just dropped it.
Hey, Benji, you have to remember, you're not a linebacker. You can't have the stone hands that your contemporaries on the defensive side usually has. Sorry, Jeff Gagne, but you know, you got to have those catches, especially in situations where you're only up 7 and you want to establish a big lead and maintain that perfect record. Those are the catches you have to make.
Merrill single back offset right, twins to the left. Pickler under center, another quick drop. Fires out to the right side. Benji Madsen makes the reception, that time sure-handed, and able to get down to the Portland 7.
Yeah, and this is very much a bend but don't break defense that Portland's kind of establishing here right now. But London has kind of made them tired here. They're going to be on their 13th play coming up. They've driven down the field for 74 yards, and they have a balanced attack here. 8 passes, 4 runs. They're going to go for their 9th pass here on this drive.
Drive started at the 8.5-minute mark. Pickler now with a 3rd and 3. Can he extend the drive? Yes, he can. Man. Benji Madsen is in the end zone.
And that man was the MVP of essentially that entire Portland side of the field on that drive, as he was basically the main option for Pickler. As we probably saw him targeted about 4 times in this drive alone, and it caps off by just a nice ran route from Madsen, getting to the end zone, getting himself open, and then boom, gets the touchdown. And now this is the kind of lead that London wants. They want to have that separation where they can start running Merrill a little bit more here, and they can be comfortable with this lead.
Delaney on for the extra point attempt. Looking to extend this to a 14-point lead. Extra point is up and good. Elsewhere in the SFL, over on the SFL YouTube channel, Sioux Falls has a 14-12 lead against the DC Dragons. Offensively, though, in this game, London in complete control, as the total yard split is in favor of the Knights. 120 plus yards, just absolutely dominating through the air. The Knights are. Ezekiel Love really appears to be the only bright spot right now, only the only constant producer for the Fleet, as Cyrus Jive really hasn't made many mistakes, but it's just not, they're not able to keep these drives alive. Yeah, and he return or get the ball out to the 28. Go ahead, Brett.
Yeah, and as a result of that, London's had 28 plays to Portland's 18, and they've had just more effective plays, averaging just under 9 plays per drive. They're making Portland's defense tired, and that's the key to success for offense.
Portland could really benefit from a long drive here. Got 3 minutes to go in this first half. Jive throws over the middle, pass off the hands of the receiver as Nelson Lozano Jr. took a shot trying to haul that one in.
Not a bad idea to see if you can get a quick first down out of that. But the linebacking core for London was completely ready for it. You see that Jeff Gagne was the man to kind of be in the vicinity of that football and just try to be on that pass deflection. And that might have been just enough to, force not an errant throw, but a little bit of a miscalculated throw from Cyrus Jive and get the safeties involved on that pass.
As a linebacker, Gagne there bumping the tight end. But to have that safety help over the top, the safety coming in and laying a big hit, jar that ball loose, you've got to love that as a linebacker. Toss play for the Fleet goes backwards, loses 2, as Emmanuel Blackman now has a tackle for loss.
Yeah, and things go from bad to worse on this drive very quickly for Portland. Toss plays, I haven't seen them be super successful in this league. Usually, just the outside stretch run handoff usually works. Toss plays, work every now and again, but this one definitely didn't work out for the loss of 2.
Cyrus Jive steps up in the pocket, throws into coverage. Had a receiver in the area, but couldn't quite connect.
And this is where Portland's mishaps happen offensively. Is that they get stifled all of a sudden, and they can't get themselves moving forward in drives. And now just a quick 3 and out for Portland, giving London the football back on a 14-point deficit, and with a team that has scored on every drive so far, this it won't prove to be good.
Yeah, Johnny Pickler or Robert Merrill could be looking at a good fantasy productive week, as you two can get on the SFL Weekly Fantasy Contest. The SFL Weekly Fantasy Contest is officially up and running. Think you can draft the best team every week while staying under the cap? Or maybe you just want to enhance your SFL experience. It's free to play, no season-long commitment, and a new contest opens every week on Tuesday night. Join now and show off your fantasy skills to the rest of the league. Contact Jack Wall, Steven Hacker, or Hunter Norwood to join today. The Knights start this drive on their own 38-yard line. Pickler going deep and able to connect on that 10-yard out route, as that was Fox Highwind able to drag that one.
Yeah, and this time London getting Highwind a little bit more involved here, as he only had 2 targets last week, and Portland's going to make a challenge just to see if they can, just shift some momentum back to their side. But we'll have to see the replay. I thought that was a fair catch.
Yeah, it looked good on initial viewing. That was Mel Davis Jr., the head coach of the Fleet, throwing the red flag out there. Maybe get a good look at it here. Nice throw from Pickler. Oh, that looked like plenty of room. Definitely looked like he had possession.
Easily.
I think if you're Mel Davis, you're just trying to, maybe have something, hopefully a good angle or something. But I think they got it right there.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So the ruling on the field is going to be overturned. I guess they're going to say he did not have possession before the foot went out of bounds. And so London not going to lose a timeout, and that will be marked an incompletion for the night.
Yeah, we'll just have to see R62 moving forward. Does he have a little bit of green in his pockets, for the payoff that he got for changing that play? We'll see, though.
Pickler under center, those twin tight ends there to the right side. Merrill going to spin his way back to the middle and able to get about 8 yards. Yep, 8 yards on that one.
Yeah, and, still, even after that play got overturned, London just went right back to work. They got themselves another 8-yard run from Merrill.
We've hit the 2-minute warning here in the first half. London up 14, 17-3 here at the Queensway. And the 10-0 Knights, just chugging along here. They've got the ball with 2 minutes to go. In the booth today is Steven Hacker and Brett Solberg. Pickler on 3rd and 2, going to be a play action call. Looking out there, left sideline, pass is caught, and that's Kalia, and he moves the chains for the Knights.
Yeah, and Vin Kalia was the guy that really, benefited from the passing offense last week against Los Angeles. Got 92 yards and a touchdown. Was the highest yarding receiver out of the entire game, and finally getting himself involved with a big catch. And both Callie and Highwind are going to be crucial to London sustaining the lead.
Deep drop from Pickler. He's going to unleash the dragon. Has the receiver there. Fox Highwind's going to score before the half.
Man, oh man, oh man. When it rains in London, it pours. And I don't mean literally, even though they have, gray skies 90% of the year. And, the people complain about the weather all the time over in Queensway. But I'm talking about when London scores, they score often. And that is another, just feels like easy touchdown for this London squad. As, look into their drive summaries, they do not have a punt or a turnover down the field. We're looking at touchdown, field goal, touchdown, touchdown. All 4 drives, all 4 scores.
Just 2 incompletions. I mean, and maybe a couple of plays for, a loss. I mean, London has come out in this ball game absolutely executing perfectly. And the scoreboard is showing that. Now extra point is up and good. 21-point lead for the Knights. Still a minute 50 to go here in the first half. Portland can mount a response here and try to close the gap before the half. They do have all of their timeouts, but right now the Rick meter is fully in favor of the Knights. Pickler is leading the way, 16 of 18, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns. QBR 145.6, near perfect. Delaney, the kicker, gets this one away. Returner about to his own goal line. Going to spin up to midfield, up the middle of the field, and get brought down at the 22.
And a a big touchdown for Fox Highwind as well, as it's his 10th of the season, getting the double digits for the first time in his career. So a career high for him of 10 touchdowns this season. So congratulations to him.
Still one game to play and still a whole other half here. Fox Highwind could really expand that career best mark for himself. Cyrus Jive going to go under center. Going to be a stretch play for Love. Cuts upfield. I like the move. Could have went outside, but I like that he cut and went straight, went north-south. A gain of 6.
Yeah, and they're going to need a lot of Ezekiel Love here, as he's been basically the only success so far in the Portland offense, as he just continues trotting down the field, getting himself close to 60 yards total in this first half, which, yeah, again, the lone bright spot to this Portland offense.
Best coverage from the Knights. Single high safety. Going to go with Love, and the Knights were well prepared for that. Man coverage, single high safety. They were loading up the box in preparation for an Ezekiel Love run, and the Knights got all over that one.
Yeah, and again, I talked about this earlier about how London can, adapt defensively and really make teams just stifle offensively. And this is a prime example here. This entire second quarter, Portland's basically gotten no offense out on the field.
Jive going to go into the shotgun on this 3rd and 5. Pump fakes, fires over the middle. 2 defenders in the area. Tried to squeeze it into a tight window, but unable to do so. Jeff Gagne in coverage for the Knights.
And again, it's the linebackers just, settling back a little bit, stepping back about 5 or 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage and trying to figure out who that pass is going to. And it was an all slants route, it looked like, for the Portland receivers. So the linebackers knew where to hold themselves, and just a great job in turning that pass into a double coverage tough throw.
Punter standing on about his own 15-yard line. Gets this one away. Fielded at the 40, brought out to the London 43. And London with 36 seconds, 2 timeouts here, Brett. And, if their game script is saying anything, I think they're going to go for it. If they can just get a couple of chunk plays, they can find themselves in field goal position very quickly.
Yeah, and if they can make this, a 31-3 game at the end of the half, that's practically game over with how this defense has played so far.
Single back look. Merrill in the flats. Nearest defender about 8 yards away. Merrill does take a punishing hit at the end of that reception. 7 yards on that one. 25 seconds. London hurrying it up. Not going to use that timeout. Pickler back to throw. Quick drop. Slant is there underneath. And London moves the chains, gets the ball to the Portland 38-yard line. They only need a couple yards here, Brett. They do have 2 timeouts, but they're staying in the hurry-up. 9, 8. Pickler snaps it. Looking underneath, holds on to it, throws it deep. Intercepted! Gave it away at the half. And that's number 31 for the Fleet, stealing it away. That's Joseph Lama.
Yeah, and, with how well London was trotting down the field on that hurry-up, that is just an errant throw from Johnny Pickler, looking for Vin Calia, but you can see just on that replay alone, 3 defenders in the vicinity of that football thrown, and it goes right into the hands of Joseph Lama, gets himself an interception, hopefully a sign of things to turn around for Portland, as they'll probably get just one more play to end the half.
With 2 timeouts in your pocket, you could have went a little more conservative or saved yourself some time, but to end the half, Cyrus Jive is going to be sacked. William Davidson gets in there, and the clock is going to hit zeros, and the teams will split and head to the tunnels. London with the big lead here at home, 24-3. Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. We're going to go into the half. And Brett, what did you think of that first half?
Well, it was a pretty competitive first quarter, but once London started to go defensively, and again, they adapted to what Portland was, throwing at them, that was when London started to dominate, and that's when we saw Benji Matson in the end zone, and then we saw the Fox Highwind touchdown, and that really broke things open for them. So right now, it's been all London since the second quarter.
Those yard splits really haven't changed much for the blue side, as about midway through the second quarter, that was about their mark. And so London really showing up offensively and defensively, looking really prepped going into this playoff. These playoff matchups, just mere weeks away, and London looks like they are the team to beat this season. trying to keep that lead on last season's champion, the Baltimore Vultures, who are right behind him with only one loss this season. Pickler going to go under center to start the second half. Looks left sideline, finds Benji Matson for a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, and London probably has the most uncomfortable 10-0 record that anyone's ever seen in their lives because, you drop one game and you all of a sudden are dropped to second place because Baltimore has the advantage over London in terms of both strength of schedule and strength of victory at the end of the day. So London really can't falter with Baltimore right in their heels.
Pickler, 2nd and 6, going to look for Matson again. Matson breaks a tackle, and his momentum carries him out of bounds, but not before he picks up a first.
Yeah, and just looking at the stats, after that completion, that'll push him to 20 of 23. Johnny Pickler, just super efficient, 80%, 87% completion percentage for 213 yards, and we just started this third quarter here. Just a super efficient game, albeit the one interception still hasn't deterred that QBR, still well over 100.
3 wide receivers, split back look. Quickly out to the right sideline and breaks the tackle. These receivers for the Knights really fighting for the yards as London gets another first down.
Yeah, and the big thing for these London receivers has been their strength progressing forward. Usually, within the first couple weeks of the season, we see receivers, kind of get tackled pretty easily by one defender. But London, got to give credit to their strength and conditioning coach moving forward, to beef up their receivers and make it a tough time for the defenders to bring them down.
Dime 3-2-6 look from the fleet as Pickler quickly gets the ball out of his hands out to the left sideline, a gain of 5 for Kalia.
Yeah, and just a spread of wealth, which has been good for Johnny Pickler. Benji Matson has 6 receptions, but aside from that, Merrill has 5, Highwind has 4, and now Kalia and Weary both at 3 receptions. A lot of love being shown from the Johnny Pickler throwing club.
Or wide receiver spread. Pickler throwing underneath, almost intercepted. Looked like that was the safety that stepped up in front of that one.
Yeah, it looked to be Joseph Lama again, and he was ready to sprint his way to the end zone on that attempt, almost getting his second interception of the game. Portland again forcing a third down. But London doing pretty good on these third downs. They've been 5 of 7 in this game.
Yeah, Portland needs to find a way to get London off the field here. They could hold London to their first scoreless drive of the game if they can get them off the field here. Pickler, all slants, throws it in coverage, and it's intercepted. Fleets with another interception. Back-to-back drives for London ends in turnover.
That's Leo Morris with the interception. And I was just, well positioned, heading towards Kalia's way again. Vincalia's way, sorry. And seeing the slant routes happening, knowing that the linebackers kind of step back a little bit, it was just all about positioning for Morris. And, another ill-advised throw from Pickler forces an interception, and Portland back out on the field, hopefully to turn things around.
Hard time with that name, Kalia. But Ezekiel Love on first down gets to carry 7 yards to start off this drive. His total's now up to 61 yards.
Yeah, and they need more from Ezekiel Love here. Maybe just, rely on just, feeding him the ball as much as possible. Maybe get him just, 3, 4, 5 straight carries and see how far down the field he can get you.
Portland ahead of the chains here. 2nd and 3. Jai gets rid of it quickly, finds his receiver, and going to get brought down at the 47-yard line. That was Benjamin Warner on making another nice reception, his 4th of the day.
Yeah, probably the quickest slant route I've ever seen. You could probably just call that a straight diagonal route for Warner, and that was a tailor-made play for the outside receiver. So great job with the quick pass.
Nearing midfield, Jive this time goes a little bit further down the field, finds Gene Valentine on the right sideline, picks up 5.
Yeah, and they're going to need to get those, short gains out of Cyrus Jive. Maybe, test it one more time deep down the field if they can get themselves a deep catch. But again, I think they need to get Ezekiel Love more touches here, especially, down the line, because he has been your bright spot in this game so far, with 5.5, almost 5.5 yards per carry.
Love is the single back. He was split offset left, and it's a pitch to the left. Ooh, and makes a nice move, spins upfield, but not enough for the first down.
Yeah, and he cut inside there, and then there was a couple linebackers in that area. See if he can squeeze for that first down, but Scarborough doing a good job, staying on pace with Love as he was going down the field and gets to him before the first down marker.
Third and short. Jive doesn't like something change the play. Double outs to the left side. Gene Valentine able to secure the target and move the chains for the Fleet.
And this has been probably the first successful drive for Portland since the first quarter for them, as they were limited to just 17 yards in the entire second quarter. And Portland right now definitely doing a great job just moving down the field, getting themselves, closer and closer to at least field goal range so they can get something out of this drive.
Jive with the three-step drop. Pressure comes from London, and it's going to result in a sack. And Jive is going to lose 6.
Guess who it is? It's Cam Frosby once again, and he's just going to continue stacking his sack totals, now at 18 this season and 24 on the tackles for loss this season. He's got to be the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year.
Dominant force in the middle for the Knights. Jive unloads,
good catch.
And a huge play for the Fleet. Gets them close to the SFL red zone. Jive looking for the tight end, big Nelson Lozano Jr.
Yeah, and that's the first time that a deep pass has really been connected for Portland, and it was just a well-placed throw from Jive as well. Perfectly thrown out above the outstretched hands of Anthony Wyo. He's a danger on that safety side as well, and gets it to Lozano Jr. And just like that, with Portland may have had a successful drive, but now they're close to the red zone here, practically at the red zone.
Yeah, Jive only 4 incompletions on the ball game, but average yards per attempt is only 5.6. So first big play of the game through the air for the Fleet. First down carry for Love, and nothing doing. Gets back to the line of scrimmage at best.
Yeah, and then the linebackers kind of swarmed in on that side for Love, kind of just trying to stop him. And they did a successful job. And again, Telemac Scarborough, who's been, all over this defense so far, gets his 5th tackle of the game here.
3 wide receivers for the Fleet. Jive under center. X spot is there for Valentine. He breaks the tackle, but is going to step out of bounds as he was trying to regain his balance. But he's going to get marked out at the London 9.
And the important thing there is that they got the first down. And again, good job from Jive to realize that the out route was happening. Right as the cut happened, he throws the football to Valentine and gets him enough space to turn around and keep running. And that was the big thing. Even, slipped a tackle to get himself an extra 2 yards. And again, it's just a nice first down for Portland here. A sign of things to come, probably.
First and goal. Oh, Love met in the backfield. William Davidson there got a little bit of help from Jeff Gagne as well.
Yeah, just broken the offensive line right away. And what London does really good is, the jumps that they make on the snap. Just a fantastic job. You see that a lot from Frosby, and that's how he gets his 18 sacks for the season. But, William Davidson and Selwyn Lane, those have been quietly dominant defensive players.
Jive called out a hot route there for Valentine. The out route works, but not a whole lot's going for it. Only able to get a few yards on it. It's going to be a 3rd and goal from the 9.
Yeah, basically gets themselves back on neutral ground after the loss on the Ezekiel Love attempts. So it puts them back at the 9, and you have to think it's going to be pass on this play.
Maybe looking for a corner route or the all slants. Looks like they're going with slants.
Oh, man.
Jive tested the coverage. It's been there all game long, but this time London gets the takeaway as Brandon Ewing steps in front of it, takes away not only the ball, but a scoring opportunity for the Fleet.
And that just ended up being too high of a throw for his receiver. You have to think that Israel Adams isn't the tallest receiver out there, and facing a guy like Brandon Ewing, who has 2 pick sixes in this game and is looking for another one to get himself his 8th interception, and he does. And London not paying after Pickler's 2nd interception.
Poor defense.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
man.
Overthrown from Pickler, and it's back-to-back interceptions. And what a return from number 25 on the fleet. That's Derek Majors.
Yeah, and we talk about how London wasn't paying from an interception. Portland isn't paying from that interception either, because you can see Derek Favors. It's just a little bit of a pass deflection that we saw there from Brody Gulch. That was all that was needed for Majors to just step in, get himself an interception, his 4th of the season, and Portland, just like that, back in the red zone.
Very favorable field position for the fleet. Best starting field position of the game for either team. Jive going to get started inside the SFL red zone. Quickly throws the ball over the middle. Oh, Nelson Lozano got hit as the ball was there, blanketed by Jeff Gagne and Anthony Wyatt.
Yeah, just a very, very tough situation for the Lozano Jr. because he had 2 London defenders in his area, and he was going to get hit regardless if he was going to be able to secure that catch or not. But a good attempt from Portland to start things off hot and see if they can get a quick first down.
Ezekiel Love up the middle, breaks a couple tackles, tries to break outside, but the Knights defense does their job, and Tanner Hendricks and Jeff Gagne make the play.
Ezekiel Love had a pretty explosive first quarter, but since then, he's only had 15 yards of rushing throughout this last quarter and a half. London's done a fantastic job just shutting things down on the run game and forcing Jive to pass the football.
16 carries on the game for Love. Number 17 here. Stretch play. Farmer gets the block on the outside, and Love has the first down.
Yeah, and that was the key there, is Farmer just getting a well-timed block to give Love enough space down the field. You'll see it on this replay here. Just as it happens, he makes a key block coming in. Yeah, you don't see it that well. There it is, right on Jack Russell. Just a greatly timed block from Warner to just push enough for Love to get that first down.
Love getting closer to the century mark. We are getting closer to the 4th quarter in this game. Portland could really use some points here. Love can smell the end zone. Gets 4 yards on that 1st and goal carry.
Gets themselves a little bit closer here, but we've seen over the last couple weeks, whenever London is faced against a goal line situation, the defense definitely steps up. We saw it in the last drive there. 3rd down at the 9. They get an interception from Brandon Ewing. So Portland has to be careful, and they really need to, perfectly time their plays here.
Dive going to give it to Love, left side, breaks the tackle, and he's in the end zone. Big play. Portland responds. They needed it really bad, and there's no place to go but Ezekiel Love. He'll find the end zone for you.
Yeah, ain't no place to get some love other than Ezekiel Love there, and that felt easy. Again, Farmer leading the way there, just getting away, getting just an extra block to help things out. He sheds through Brandon Ewing's tackle and gets himself to the end zone. And now Portland finally scoring since their first drive of the game. And hopefully for Portland fans, this might turn things around and get themselves back, as it's only after this extra point, it'll only be a 2-score game.
That was Portland's 8th drive of the ball game. Extra point a little slow to develop, but they get it up and through. Now Portland 10-24, trailing the London Knights here on the road. That was a very short drive for the Fleet. Only 5 plays, had to go 20 yards, but the big interception from Derek Majors gave Portland the great field position and allowed them to kind of close the gap some here. Joey Rabb has the ball on the tee, gets this one away. London set to return. Make sure you visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for info about the league and its 28 teams, all the places you can watch live games, plus links to apparel from Sector 6 and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotion. See all the league records, team stats, player leaderboards, the rankings of the next class of SFL talent, and so much more. simulationfl.net, your home for everything SFL. London going to start at their own 31-yard line here. 3 minutes, 5 seconds to go in this third quarter. Pickler going to go under center. 3 wide receivers bunched to the right. Pickler quickly throws it out. Benji Matson is there on the left sideline. A 4-yard gain before he falls out of bounds.
And the one thing here that, London probably has to do is probably slow things down a little bit here, because Johnny Pickler's starting to throw a lot of passes out there, and he's starting to show a little bit of his weakness where it can be, sometimes, throwing errant passes. He's now got 3 interceptions in this game, and, maybe just start with some short passes and maybe start relying on Robert Merrill a little bit more here. He's only got 13 touches.
Flip back, 3 wide receiver look. Terrence Weary falling down, able to secure the reception, but falls down short of the first down marker. They're going to call it 3rd and inches.
Yeah, that's a very close catch for Weary there. Kind of slides himself past the first down marker, but his Tuckus manages to stay behind the line. But now Portland, if they want to get back in this game, it starts with this stop here on 3rd and inches.
Play, and Merrill met at the line of scrimmage. They're going to mark him just past. They're going to say he got the first down. The Fleet were swarming to the ball and could not stop Merrill's forward progress. Brett, elsewhere in SFL action over on the SFL YouTube channel, in a very, very close game, Sioux Falls edges out DC 20-18. That game having huge playoff implications, and Sioux Falls able to go in and get an upset there. Pickler on first down, pressure coming. He's going to get sacked and lose 6 yards. Portland bringing the pressure, and it gets home.
Yeah, going back to the Sioux Falls game there. That's DC's 3rd straight loss as well. Not coming into these playoffs very well, and with that loss, Baltimore has now clinched the Atlantic Division for sure. There's no way of DC to try to come back in that division, with a 2-game lead now on them. So congratulations, Baltimore, on the Atlantic Division victory.
Baltimore continuing to apply the pressure to London, as Pickler seems unfazed, gets the reception out to Kalia, and it'll be a 3rd and 9 for the Knights.
Yeah, now it's a 3rd and 9, and again, Portland's faced in this situation where they need to get them to stop on 3rd down, but London has been fantastic throughout this game on 3rd down conversion. 6 of 9. Very nice conversion number.
3 wide receivers to the bottom of the screen. Portland in a dime 3-2-6, and the all slants is there. Kalia able to move the chains for the Knights out to the Portland 46-yard line.
Yeah, and that just seemed like a very easy first down for London there, as they went with slants again. And it just leaves one of the receivers open, and then Kalia, again, finds himself open. He's having a good game so far.
Merrill hits the tote and spins his way back to the middle of the field, and it's going to be a 2-yard gain.
And Portland so far in this quarter has kind of, shut down Robert Merrill, even though he hasn't had too many touches, in this third quarter. He's only had about 5 yards, I would say, in this quarter, as London might get one play out of this before the end of the quarter.
See if Pickler snaps it. He does. Back to throw, quickly over to Merrill. Screen is in place. Merrill only had to beat one defender. Couldn't quite do it, but marked down at the 40. And that's going to bring us to the fourth quarter here, Brett. Portland trailing on the road against London, 14 points. And you're watching the SFL presented by APM Music. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection. State-of-the-art technology and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your project, visit apmmusic.com. Play action fake to start the fourth quarter, and Pickler throws deep, one-handed catch from Fox Highwind. Got down at the 10, huge play from the Knights.
Unbelievable catch from Fox Hyman. That's a baseball-esque Willie Mays basket catch as well. Just look at this. He doesn't change his pace. Yeah, that's just a perfect basket catch. And he catches that with some flair. My God, what a game for Fox Highwind. 5 receptions, and 111 yards. He is inching closer and closer to his first 1,000-yard campaign.
Looking at about 23 fantasy points on the week for Highwind. And this quarter's not even over yet. Pickler, plenty of time to throw.
Easy.
Finds Benji Matson there on the left sideline, and he's into the end zone.
Yeah, once that Highwind catch happened, it felt like it was inevitable for London to score, and it was the first play after that. Great protection from this offensive line, which has been the standard marker this entire season for them. And Pickler, all he had to need to do was just wait for his receivers to get open. And once somebody got open, which was Matson, throws it to him right at the pylons. Great job from London on this drive to respond and now get this to a 3-score lead.
Delaney on to attempt the extra point. Looking to extend the lead to 21. Snap is corralled and kick is up and good. 31-10 London. Make sure you check out tomorrow on Next Level Sports coverage of the Simulation Football League that continues at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time when Atlanta welcomes Las Vegas seeking revenge for last season's blowout loss, a pivotal game for both teams' playoffs chances. For a channel guide and more info about NXT, visit nlse.com. Laney kicking this one away to Portland. London continuing to keep their foot on the gas here. Portland returns this one out to the left sideline, brought down at the 28-yard line, and oh no. Talia, the very, very important part of this night's offense and special teams, goes down on the play. We will give you an injury update as soon as possible. We'll also get a replay, see how severe the injury may be.
See here, yeah, just a well-timed block from the opposing special teams member that pushed them down. It just looked like an awkward landing for Kalia, and he's had an effective game so far on the offensive side. 46 yards on 5 catches of his own. He's been crucial on these second and third downs for him, but if he stays down, they're gonna have to trust more on Highwind and Weary down the line.
Jive in the shotgun for wide receiver spread. Love out of the backfield, spins around to catch it, and then spins the other way to move upfield. Gets 6 yards on that reception.
Yeah, and this is gut check time for Portland here. You're down 3 scores. There's 10 minutes left in this game. There's no mincing around it. You need to score on this drive. If you don't score, it might be game over. And the chances of you making the playoffs is that window is going to close very, very shut if you can't get anything out of this.
8 men in the box for the Knights. Going to be a handoff left side. Love makes a defender miss.
There we go.
Run down the left sideline. Finally caught by Anthony Wyo, but not before Love gets out to the London 44.
There's Ezekiel Love's first big run of this half that we've kind of been waiting for here, and it was just great blocks from everybody. And a well-timed spin move is all that's necessary for Love to get himself, a separation between 5 and 25 yards. And that's how Portland needs to, continue progressing forward. These big plays to get themselves close to the end zone.
Flip back Twins look. Jive having to move out of the pocket. Oh, throwing across the field. Dangerous throw, but finds Nelson Lozano Jr. Only a 3-yard gain and a very risky throw, but Jive just working with what he had in front of him.
Yeah, that was an entirely broken play from the start. The offensive line broke down very quickly, and that was just an example of Cyrus Jive basically turning chicken you-know-what into chicken salad and getting something out of nothing with that 3-yard completion.
First time chatter, Flex Lex 1040. Welcome in. You're watching the Simulation Football League, and Cyrus Jive unloading down the left sideline has Gene Valentine. Valentine now up to 48 yards on 5 receptions.
And Jive put everything that he had on that pass as well to bring that absolute laser. And it was a little bit off kilter on Valentine's way, but he manages to change direction enough, keep his eye on the football, and stay in front of it to grab that catch. And Portland, just like that, in the red zone themselves.
Going to go under center, 3 wide receivers. 3-3-5 look from London. And Love spins his way upfield, going to get 4 yards. Jack Russell in there to make the tackle.
Yeah, and sometimes we forget because it doesn't happen all too often, but London has a very, very stout red zone defense. And it starts here with this 2nd and 6. They got 4 yards out of that first play, Portland, but London has forced Portland to throw an interception earlier, and force Love to really get a tough touchdown.
4-4 out of London, and Love gets the tote, tries to cut back up the middle, and runs into William Davidson at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and that London red zone defense all starts with that defensive line, and William Davidson has had himself quite a game so far. He's got a sack, 2 tackles for loss, along with 2 other tackles. So he's been all over the place today.
Marquee player on the defensive line for the Knights. Pump fake from Jive, tried to squeeze that one in the middle of the field, but Brandon Ewing in coverage knocks it away.
Yeah, and he kind of stumbled his way to that pass deflection as well. He kind of lost his footing. If he would have stayed, upright a little bit, that could have been an interception for him as well to get himself back-to-back 2 interception games. But at least he got his hands on the football to prevent a completion and force Portland to kick a field goal.
Brett, correct me if I'm wrong, but, I think both of Portland's field goals have been at the 20 or inside the 20. And so just unable to kind of finish out a couple of drives here. They've had the opportunities. Very unfortunate for this offense, but we'll see. Field goal attempt is up and good from 30 yards. And Rab is able to close the gap here, but time is against the Portland Fleet in this one.
Yeah, their other field goal being from 41, so they would have been probably, around the 20s, I would say, the 26-yard line, I would say, from the other one. So around that area, yeah. So both field goals for Joey Rab. Relatively easy here, but, Portland can't settle for field goals from here on out. They've got to score.
They got to find a way to get something going on offense, get some high octane fuel in there, and really ramp up your offense. But it's going to start here with your defense. You need to stop. You've shown that you can get Pickler to generate some turnovers. So if your defense can step up, make a play, and give your offense really good starting field position, I think that's a huge thing for Portland. They have to be looking for a turnover here. And that looked like Kalia back out there on the return for London. So maybe just a small stinger or something, but the medical staff cleared him. He was back out on the field there for the night.
Yeah, that'll be a blessing for London because, second halves for them have been pass heavy over the last couple of games. So expect Pickler to throw this football more.
Yeah, time to throw. Wow, clean pocket. Oh, pressure's coming, though. Got to get rid of the ball. Pickler with time to throw, but Robert Brower able to get in there and get a sack and his second tackle for loss of the game.
Yeah, and that's a big, big play from Portland's defense. They were seeing that, London's throwing this football a little bit more, so the defensive back stayed back, had everyone pretty much covered. It looked like Weary was open for a check down option, but Pickler wanted a bigger play out of this, so he kind of settles, waits a little bit too long, and the pocket breaks down for him, and that's where Brower gets his sack.
Teams now with 2 sacks here in this game. 3 wide receivers to the top of the screen. Pickler pump fakes, throws deep down the middle. This one's intercepted. Huge play from the linebacker. That's Brody Gulch stealing that one away from the Knights.
Yeah, and he had an interception that was out of his hands and went to a teammate in Derek Majors instead. But this time, he secures the football, and it goes towards the direction of one of the other receivers on London's side, to Bryce Carter. And it just doesn't work out. The linebacker stays back enough. Brody Gulch does a fantastic job getting his hands on the football. Portland has some life now.
Fantastic field position, starting at the London 38-yard line. Quick handoff to Love, met in the backfield. That's not the way you start the drive. Jeff Gagne met Love in the backfield.
And we talk about, quietly good games so far. Jeff Gagne getting himself a quiet game as well. 2 tackles for losses along with his 4 total. He has been all over the place as well for this London team and has resulted in Portland only getting 13 points so far in this game.
And he's not getting a lot of credit for is being in good position in defensive coverage when he's playing the pass. Love gets the carry again, this time to the right side, able to get back the yard that he just lost. Both running backs over the century mark. What a split between these 2 dominant SFL stars.
Yeah, and even though Ezekiel Love has had to have more effort to get himself over that century mark, both running backs have definitely turned things around from last week after, pedestrian performances to, stand out a little bit more and, help both these teams to good games.
Stop 3-2-6 from the Knights. Portland looking to throw into congestion, and that one's going to be tipped away again. Israel Adams really has his work cut out for him there in the middle of the field as London is just flooding the middle of the field.
Yeah, and there's no Pepto-Bismol that you can fix for that indigestion that was all over downfield in that area of Israel Adams. That one was just a tough one, and I don't know if Portland's making the right decision in punting this football. You're down multiple scores. You need to get anything you can, and they're punting this one away.
You have a perfect punt if you want it to pay off. You want to aim this one towards the left sideline. They don't. It stops, bounces out to once. Oh, what a fantastic punt. Nice. Just what they needed. Oh, man, Brett. That was perfect execution.
Yeah, and now forcing London to go 98 yards to the end zone, and that's going to be tough. But on the flip side for London, this could be an opportunistic chance for them to shed as much clock as possible. They could easily get themselves down to the 2-minute warning if everything fits right.
Knowing that they can control the time of possession, they've put together multiple 10-plus yard, 10-plus play drives as Pickler squeezes it in. A little bit of a sidearm action, finds a diving Fox Highwind out to the London 18.
Even from the 2-yard line, London has absolutely no fear when going for passes. And when you have receivers like Fox Highwind, who's had an absolutely fantastic game, now up to 127 on just 6 receptions, over 20 yards per catch. I don't think I ever had that in my career.
Talk to your offensive coordinator, Brett. Demand greatness. Fox Highwind delivering here today as Pickler hit as he throws, finds Kalia back there on the left sideline.
Talk about demand greatness, even though I'm 100 yards away from my 9th 1,000-yard campaign.
Yeah, and only number 2 all time in SFL receiving yards. Can only be so great, right?
Only about 29,000 yards away from DR Sim, I know, but still, I need to catch up and everything. But witness greatness here today with Fox Highwind and his production.
Stretch play going to go left side. Merrill met at the line of scrimmage, falls forward. Maybe they're going to give him a yard on that.
Yeah, pretty generous giving him a yard on that because it looked like his knees were behind the line of scrimmage. But nonetheless, another opportunity for Portland to stop London, force a punt out of the situation, and finally stop London. We've been talking about these third down conversions. London now 8 of 12 on conversions. They have been just on point.
Stretch to the right side. They tend to favor the run when they bring the 2 tight ends out. Pickler taking his time, letting the clock run down. Play clock is at 6. Stretch play, right side. Met in the backfield, huge. As Jobu McSlim was ready for that. I think all of Portland's defense knew exactly what they were doing there. Sets up a 4th and 9. Clock is still going to run, though, Brett.
Yeah, and you see it was just a missed assignment from number 70 on that offensive line. The center, Wallace DeMoranville Jr., the rookie, just misses his assignment on McSlim, and that forces McSlim just to break the line entirely and get to Merrill, and that's a key stop there. But with this clock ticking, London's just going to saunter themselves to their punting unit, and it's going to be tough from Portland moving forward. It's still a big lead to come back from with little time left.
Interesting. Doesn't look like Portland's going to bring any pressure on this punt. Maybe electing to try to have better coverage on the return. Punt goes past the 50, fielded at the 45, brought out to the Portland 47. So 53 yards to go for Portland if they want to get the 6 points. 3 minutes, 22 seconds to do so, Brett.
Yeah, and they need big plays out of both Ezekiel Love and Cyrus Jive. So expect, some deep throws or a well-timed stretch run to either side, and, they can make something work here. And, with London bunching up, this might be an opportunity for them to go deep.
4 wide receiver spread for the Fleet. Jive feeling the pressure, and he's going to get sacked, brought down as the Knights defensive line was in the backfield immediately. And that's Selwyn Lane to get the sack. And they only brought 3 defensive linemen. They do so again. Jive this time quickly gets it out of his hands to Love, who makes a move up the field and gets about 7.
back to neutral ground, but they have to hurry things up. It's less than 3 minutes now, 3rd and 9.
They're going to stay in the hurry-up offense, trying to hold on to those tight ends. Pressure coming again. Jive gets rid of it. What a throw under pressure into huge coverage. Finds Benjamin Warner and a first down now at the London 34-yard line.
This is a good formation to be in the hurry-up in.
Staying in that 4 wide receiver look. Jive again moves around the pocket. Another great throw. Anthony Wild delivers a huge hit, but Valentine able to hang on to it, and Portland's going to stay in it. Now 2.5 minutes to go at the London 21. Jive in the pocket, throws it. Valentine, another first down, now at the 7.
This has been great composure from Cyrus Jive on this hurry-up.
Go again, shotgun 4 wide. Looks over the middle. Oh, taken away from the Knights. Brandon Ewing steps in front of it and saves the points.
Another end zone interception for Brandon Ewing, and he halts what such a great 2-minute drill offense from Portland. Halts it with the interception, and now with 2:12 left to go, this has to be it. This surely is another win in the column for London here after that with 2:12 left to go.
They'll let Brandon Ewing change his number to -14 because he has saved London 14 points, or taken away 14 points from Portland, I should say. This should be a 27-31 ball game, but instead, London brings out their offense, and with the lead, they're going to bring out their second-string unit to just try to grind this clock out. We have reached the 2-minute warning here in the 4th quarter. London protecting a 31-13 lead. In the booth tonight, I've been Stephen Hacker along with Brett Solberg. John Valentine and Zach Holdorf have been doing stats back at SFL headquarters. Commissioner and producer Cameron Irvine at Queensway Stadium here in London. The backup quarterback's going to go under center here. It's a power eye look for the Knights. And a handoff to the right side and gets met in the backfield. Backup quarterback for the Knights is Brady Maynard, and the backup halfback is Slade McRunsfast. McRunsfast now with 2 carries in this ball game.
Yeah, I mean, he might be one of the better known, backup halfbacks in this league because he gets so many opportunities with London having big leads throughout this game. But he's no Myron Jackson Jr., I'll tell you that.
And time to throw. Oh, held on to the ball way too long. And Portland's going to drop the quarterback at the London 13.
Yeah, it's a pair of the defensive ends there. Both Brar and Nuevo get themselves a half sack on their list there to at least get themselves the football back. And, with 1:53 left to go, if London still has their first unit defense on, it's going to be another tough opportunity for Portland to go downfield.
First time chatter, Solo Gaming Quest. Shout out to you. You're watching the SFL. London, undefeated, the number 1 seed as of right now in the SFL, holding off a 5-5 Portland Fleet team who is hoping to get a win here to keep their playoff hopes alive. London a clear front runner. Only really question, is Baltimore right behind them with their 1 loss, but London doing everything they needed to do here tonight, protecting that number 1 seed. Jive going to be starting out from the London 49. Portland really needs to apply the gas here. Staying in that 4 wide receiver look, and Jeff Gagne able to jump over there and make a play for the Knight.
And it's just, the sure hands. That's been London's mantra all throughout this season, whether it be pass deflections or interceptions. They want to get their hands on a pass to make things difficult and, lower that completion percentage, which they have done pretty well so far. And now Cyrus Jive under 70% on his pass completion.
Jive in the shotgun. Throws over the middle. Valentine able to secure the reception. Gets it down to the London 31. Portland going to hurry back to the line of scrimmage, trying to save that final timeout. Jive staying calm in the pocket this time. Finds Love out of the backfield. Stays in bounds. Only gets 4 yards, so Portland's going to have to hurry this one back up.
I got another decent formation to go into.
London in a dime 3-2-6 look. Ewing there in coverage. Oh, almost took it away from a bobbled reception attempt from Love, but Ewing has been excellent in coverage in this ball game.
Yeah, you don't see that all too often from Ezekiel Love. He's usually a pretty decent receiving back as well, and he bobbles that football. And if Ewing wasn't looking for the man instead of the football instead, he could have gotten his third interception of the game, and definitely would have iced things for London here. But now 3rd and 6 here for Portland.
Biggest third down of the game for Portland. Portland 3 of 11 on third downs in this game.
Yeesh.
Jive, a quick drop. There's the receiver hit the receiver in the hands. The defensive coverage was there, but you gotta help your quarterback out. The receiver Bouvette unable to secure that one.
Yeah, and it's a tough situation to be in when you're the 4th or 5th string wide receiver like Gavin Bouvette is, and having two defenders on you basically on that catch, you need to secure those on situations where you need scores. Now it's 4th and 6.
4th and ball game for the Fleet. Good decision here to keep their offense on the field. Looking underneath, passes off the hands of the receiver, and it'll be a turnover on downs. The London Knights defensive unit stepped up and made a stop for their team when they needed it the most. The SFL Minor League is about to begin. Make sure you check out the games that kick off Friday, October 14th on SFL YouTube. And it's not too late to create your own player and get him or her involved in the next rookie class. Season 20's rookie draft takes place December 17th and 18th, so don't miss out on your chance. The sooner you create your player, the better your player will be on draft day. For more information, visit simulationfl.net. London going to come out in the best formation in football, the victory formation. Portland only with one timeout. London should be able to ice this game. There's the kneel and the final timeout for Portland. We will see probably a couple more kneel downs before this one is over. Brett, impressions on this game? I mean, I know your team, the Vancouver Legion, the team you're on, I know you guys are in the thick of things in the playoff hunt. What are your impressions here of London as they're gearing up for a playoff. They're trying to make a deep playoff run. What are your thoughts on this game?
I think there was a lot that can be seen from both teams. Exactly, just with the approach of this game here, London basically shutting down Ezekiel Love for a good 2 quarters of the game, and I felt that's been the whole separation in this game. You could talk about the 2 end zone interceptions from Brandon Ewing. And everything, preventing 14 points and preventing this from making it 31-27. But overall, it's been really just a shutdown of things in the middle 2 quarters. And like I said, Portland only had 17 yards of total offense in the second quarter, and that basically has been the difference maker for London to break open to this big lead and secure their victory.
And make sure you check out coming up next on Next Level Sports, the coverage of the SFL continues tonight as the Minnesota Legend continue their impressive run to the postseason and put their 3-game win streak on the line as they host the Charleston Predators. Kickoff for that game is at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time with live look-ins for the Indianapolis Ramblers versus the Carolina Skyhawks. For a channel guide and more info about NXT, visit NLSC. The clock expires here in Queensway. London maintains their perfect record, holds on for a 31-13 victory, and a fantastic performance through the air for Johnny Pickler as well as on the ground for Robert Merrill. 2 very great offensive weapons for this Knights team that have led them to victory all season long. Brett, I just asked you for what you thought, what made London so impressive, but do you have any who would be your player of the game in this one? Would it be Pickler? Would it be Ewing? What about Merrill? What about Gagne? You said Gagne was having a quietly good game. Who was your player of the game?
It's so tough to say because usually Johnny Pickler would be that de facto player of the game, but he threw 4 interceptions, you have to remember as well. So he's had an up and down game despite that. But the other stats back him up. 323 on 31 of 38 passing for 3 touchdowns. Still a pretty efficient game. Robert Merrill got himself over the century mark all-purpose, but aside from that, second half, he was relatively quiet. I'm going to give this to Fox Highland myself because you talk about a guy that had over 20 yards per catch, had a great 40-yard touchdown, and a fantastic basket catch that we saw earlier with one hand. Like that is, legend-making days for sure. It might only be 127. It's not the, the 192 that Chris Curtis had yesterday or anything like that. But I would say that was more effective catches in terms of just the London game itself as a whole than anything else. So I got to give it to Highwind.
Yeah, Fox Highwind, a great candidate. I thought he had a fantastic game. The numbers back that up as well. But, for me, I do like the defense. I do like the negative 14 there for Brandon Ewing, where he was able to take those possessions away from Portland and save those points. I would lean towards Ewing if it was me, because I feel like it's a much closer game. I feel like those plays really impacted the ebb and flow of this one. Not to take anything away from the fantastic plays that Highwind made in this one, but I felt like Ewing's interceptions were really the difference maker in this one.
Yeah, I can agree with that. We'll see what the pundits say.
And we're going to get Johnny Pickler. They do not agree with the booth. They're going to go with the quarterback, 31-37, 312 yards, 3 touchdowns, good for a QBR of 89.2. This was Week 13 action in the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. I was Steven Hacker. He was Brett Solberg, John Valentine, and Zach Holdorf for the statisticians tonight. Your commissioner and producer back at SFL headquarters was Cameron Irvine. Brett, get us out of here.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game, guys, and step back for London, but nonetheless, or for Portland, sorry, but you've got one more week to get things back in the wild card race. Aside from that, have yourselves a wonderful day, everyone. Bidoo!